What's going on, people?
What's up, good people? What's up?
What's up? So, this is another vlog edition of Inside the Locker Room. We coming at y'all today with a new segment that is also going to be on the podcast. Ooh. And we told y'all that we was gonna come to y'all with some new content.
Coming with it.
So definitely stay tuned for that. But before we get into that segment, good brother, we gotta talk, man, because this has been an electric week of sports.
To talk about it.
We haven't been able to get to talk about it. So we got to get into it briefly before we get into the NFL games. Though your Lakers have once again come through with a victory.
We doing it for me.
It was a close victory. Now you feel me?
We'll talk about it.
It's
interesting.
But they came out with a victory over the Nuggets. And then, as you guys know, the NFL has come back in full force. We're not gonna get into too many other games because y'all are gonna have to stay tuned for the podcast for that. But we will get into at least some of the interesting games. And so just to briefly give a recap, like I said, your Lakers came through.
Yes.
So quickly.
Yes.
Is this just a surefire team to go to the finals?
Right now, I'm not trying to be biased, but right now, yes.
All right.
They are clicking on all cylinders, defensively, offensively. Because what's so good about it, what the Clippers wish they had is two superstars that are piggybacking off one. LeBron, last game, put up 22, I believe, in the first half, or 20 points in the first half. And then his duo in the second half, what did he do? Give 22 and the game winner. That's how duos do it. The Clippers can learn something. The Clippers, they came out talking crazy like this ain't LA town. They came. Yes, the Lakers got it. I mean, no offense to the Nuggets. The Nuggets are good. Like, I ain't gonna lie. Even with us, if we win tonight, if we get up 3-0, I'm still a little nervous. We seen it. I'm still a little nervous. And even then, first game, they was winning till they got in foul trouble.
Right.
And then last game, of course, they was up 1. They was winning. They stayed right there.
Big facts.
It's a scrappy team, but
Big facts.
we just clicking. And our role players are balling.
Clicking.
KCP. Shout out KCP, man. Yeah.
Oh, my God.
I was one of the ones that I was
I'm still
happy.
that guy, man.
He heard him.
I'm still that guy.
He heard him.
Listen,
KCP knocking him down. He's actually a crucial part. He playing a crucial role. And Rondo.
He is.
Boston Celtics Rondo.
Coming. Hey, we ain't going that far,
but
he is giving you better.
The white hair giving me Orlando Magic vibes. The white hair giving me.
Everybody just coming back now.
They look, man. We clicking, man. OBJ, is he 35? I mean, is LBJ 35? Is LeBron 35?
He definitely ain't hit his peak yet, but I don't have
catching up to LBJ, man. That boy balling, man.
Listen, brother, I ain't got no pushback right now. We'll see what the Nuggets can do. We'll definitely see what the Nuggets can do because they've been in this position before.
You're right.
But if they do go down, I don't know. I just don't know if they had a fortitude.
Championship 17.
So we'll see. We'll see. But we wanted to keep that brief because this is the big topic. NFL football has come back full-fledged. No fans. No fans. It has been a few.
Dallas had 20,000,
and they're gonna. I'm almost certain that's gonna come back to bite them in the what.
I hope not.
Because that's ridiculous. But you know what? They had some in there, and then y'all seen what happened with the freaking Kansas City Chiefs bringing in fans, freaking booing people. Like this is. I'm telling you, bro. It's about to go. It's about to go completely left. And watch all for what? Just keep the fans out of it. But anywho. So good brother.
Yes.
Now, Tom Brady had his coming out party in week 1. They did not get the dub, but it was a tight game. So we figured he would come back, right?
Yeah.
Got the dub.
Came out like
he had the connection with Mike Evans. But what we thinking right now is because I'm still not completely sold, but I know it takes some time.
Yeah,
so
that's all you gotta understand, man. This is they was talking so bad about Tom. I'm a fan, but I knew he was gonna be trash first game. The Saints defense is a team. This is a defense they play together, right? So even if you don't got no preseason, you have a short training camp. They know each other. They all
do.
play with each other. They get it. This offense on Tampa Bay, the only people that's played on last year was O.J. Howard, Ronald Jones, and Mike Evans and Chris Godwin.
Right.
And of course Scotty Miller, who's low-key turned to Tom Brady, but everybody else, Gronk, Leonard Fournette, Tom. Even Tom admitted, he said, "Man, this is so new to me because I got to learn a whole new offense."
Yep.
And guess what? He had to learn it in only 6 weeks. Yeah. And Bruce Arians' offense isn't the most simplest thing. He's going to challenge Tom because Tom is
definitely
Tom's
complex.
played for 21 years.
Definitely
so
complex.
Yes. The first game went exactly how I expected. A lot of misreads.
Yep.
I mean, that's how that interception happened because they weren't there. It just they weren't on cue. Now what happened? They're starting to get there.
Fair.
Leonard Fournette runs really good. Yeah, it's the Panthers. Whatever. It's still Leonard Fournette give you a good 100 yards.
Panthers no joke now.
Little Chad. Tom starts clicking. Tom's starting to dick and dime here and there. He had one bad interception, but it's going to happen. It's going to happen.
It is.
His arms still look good for 43. Look way better. I mean, they starting to get this, so give it some time.
Let them mesh. I'm going to let them mesh.
They didn't have no preseason. Give it some time.
I'm not going to say nothing about it. That's your boy. All right. I like I said, I'm not gonna say, oh, this is the Tom Brady starting to lose his grind. I'm not doing that. I was just saying, with all the hype coming in, we was expecting it. We was expecting it, but I do understand it takes some time. So I'm gonna give him a couple more weeks. I'm gonna give him some couple more weeks. Let this thing click.
Give Big Arm Tom some time.
Good news is the connection with Mike Evans, that's getting there, and they did show that chemistry has a lot of potential. So
sure.
I'll give him that.
Mm-hmm.
In the end, other news, since we want to talk about quarterback play, y'all already know, man. Steelers man over here all the way. Stairway to 7. But
Big Ben back?
I don't know yet, man. I'm a little torn on this because he gives me some glimpses of old Ben, but I'm not sold on his decision making yet. And that much.
Okay.
Listen, man. They
the Broncos game that had you a little.
It was both games actually. And the first game against the Giants. Listen, it was his first. It was first coming game.
He hadn't played football.
Right. He had to get his chemistry together with players. I understood that. He even admitted that even in the Broncos game, he didn't have the chemistry that he wanted with Deontay Johnson, which led to an interception.
He basically his first year playing.
Exactly. So I'm gonna give him that. Right. I'm gonna give him that. At least he came out with a dub. But what I am not going to say right now is I know I was one of the guys preaching that they'll probably make it to the AFC Championship. But if he keep leaning on this defense like that, I'm not going to be sold anymore.
That's true because y'all offense is really good.
And that offense is exactly. It can be good. And listen, man, Big Ben is going to have to show me that he really wants this. Because there's been times, I told you, there's been times where I don't feel like he always shows me that he wants it,
right?
And that's why you end up losing to teams you shouldn't be losing to.
Okay.
But listen, we 2-0. I'm not gonna bash anybody.
Ugly 2-0, but
it's an ugly 2-0, but it's 2-0. So we got the Texans next. We'll see what happens.
Ooh, buddy.
So before we get into the new segment that I know you guys are waiting for, though, we do have to talk about some surprising teams right now. And they're really not surprising because we actually already talked about these two teams.
Yeah.
And those two teams being the Buffalo Bills and the Arizona Cardinals, who both are 2-0 right now.
They are, and they're playing good football.
So, talk to me about this Bills team because they haven't had their litmus test yet.
I guess I got to take one to the chin because I've never been a believer in Josh Allen.
See,
especially last year, I get it was the second year.
Yeah, second year.
It's still John Brown. He had good weapons, but he looked ashamed in that Texans playoff game.
True.
He looked horrible. He just looked like he was
reckless.
Yeah, he just looked
very reckless.
Just throwing the ball over there. Amazing runner. I'll give you that. Good athlete.
Yep.
But you play quarterback. You got to throw that ball.
You need to throw the rock.
That Dolphins game told me a lot what I needed. That's where I kind of had to take a step back. Okay. He made some throws, especially that I think it was that last touchdown in the back of the end zone that helped them win. That's where I said that's a growing up though right there.
That is.
That's why I just saw it.
Too,
that was a laser. I said, okay, now you just took that step. I was shocked. Granted, he was running good, but now he was out there throwing it really good. Now he's starting to get a little bit more accurate, a little bit more calm.
Correct.
I'm like, wow, all right, Josh Allen.
Might be scary.
Yeah, they are.
Might
we
be
know
scary.
what their defense is. Their defense did give a lot to Miami, but Miami's on the come up.
Right, correct.
You know, granted, yes, Fitzpatrick, but still.
Yep.
Miami's on the come up. They still got some weapons.
They do.
They do. But now, you know, Josh Allen's with that defense. And Stephon Diggs, he's starting to get connected with him. We know what John Brown is. Let's not forget about Cole Beasley.
Yeah, we're not.
We know what Cole can do. So, and these Bills, it's going to be a matchup when we play them. It's going to be a fun little. The Pats and Bills is going to be fun. The Pats and Bills will be a great game.
I'm not
going to lie.
I'm excited.
Because Cam in MVP form, but we're not going to talk about that.
Now,
we're not going to. We'll wait.
You're going to have to wait to the podcast for that
Cam is in MVP form.
You're going to have to wait for the podcast for that one. But we're coming out with something this week, so just stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
All right, I would definitely agree about the Bills. I was a believer in Josh Allen. I am a little disappointed it took this long because I thought he had
year 3.
Right, exactly. But I was one of the guys that thought he would be able to make that leap just because of physical ability. Yeah. But I am very proud to see one because, like I said, I think Sean McDermott is going to win this Coach of the Year.
Oh, he has to.
And
he has to.
Josh Allen is going to be the reason why.
You don't have a choice.
But you know who else I got to talk about.
Talk about your boy, man.
You know who I got to talk about. You know who I got to talk about. Now, I told y'all that Kyler Murray is one of a kind right now. Okay? Sir. And I'm gonna go out on a stretch, and you can say this is clickbait or whatever. But Kyler Murray is what John Harbaugh wants Lamar Jackson to be. And I'm gonna be real with you. And I'm gonna be real with you. And I'm just hear me out on this.
Wow.
Because this is what I appreciate about Kyler Murray so much. He is pass first, run second.
That's
and
true.
Either way it goes, you are going to lose. Either way it goes, you're going to lose. If you decide that, hey, listen, we're going to try to man up and make sure none of these receivers can get off, you know what? Kyler Murray says, I'll go ahead and use this with my legs. Who you still can't stop. He just showed you. He just showed you.
He runs effortless.
He runs effortlessly.
It don't he trying.
My guy. What I mean about Lamar Jackson is Lamar is run first, pass second. Now, he has done a better job of passing the ball. He has taken a step. He has taken a step. But you clearly see that the Ravens want to use him for his legs.
This is facts.
He hasn't thrown, more than, I think, like 25 attempts in these last couple of games, which tells you they're not really sold yet on him throwing that rock too much. But I can assure you that especially when that chemistry between Kyler and D-Hop really gets, it's already but when it gets top notch, I just look for about 40 pass attempts. Yeah. Just look for it because the brother got an arm for it. But I'm telling you right now, let him keep that up. I told you, I said this in the podcast.
That NFC West scary.
If all goes well, Kyler Murray can be an MVP.
Oh, easily.
And that's all I'm going to say on that.
You called it.
I'm going to just leave it at that, brother.
You called it.
So, this is what I really want to get to because we talking about all the good stuff, right?
Ooh, buddy.
We can tell y'all about our predictions and all that because y'all know we going to come with the heat. But we got to get into this new segment.
Oh, my God. I've been waiting for this segment. I got excited about this one.
And I've got to appreciate you for bringing this up, good brother. This is brilliant. This is a new segment that we want to call All Cap.
All Cap.
All Cap.
All Cap.
You know what I'm saying? And every single letter. All Cap.
All Cap.
For the folks out there who don't know what that means, these are for the people that's truly been perping out here. All right? Fraudulent. And we got to talk about it. We got to talk about it. So the first person we got to talk about, and I'll let you take it, but I know you've been waiting to talk about this brother, Mr. Kirk Cousins.
He had me fooled last year. I'll give you that. I was like, man, Kurt looked good. He was in Atlanta hitting the bankhead bounce or whatever. He was, hitting the bankhead. He went to Detroit last year, bankhead. I said, wow. Went into New Orleans last year, dropped the dime. Said, Kurt.
He did.
Deserved this $83 million.
He did.
Even though Stephon did, it don't matter. They got him Justin Jefferson,
Yep.
they still got Gary Zubiak there. You know, they still have the offense that they ran last year.
Yeah.
Dalvin Cook, same line. Adam Thielen's there. What can go wrong? All right, what can go wrong? Like, what can really go wrong? All right, you go against the Packers. Packers defense is okay. They're. He come out last week, threw a little dime to Adam Thielen, disappear. I said, okay, Kurt, maybe the Packers defense is playing pretty well. Let's see about the Colts. The Colts, you should be coming out 3 TDs. I said, all right, Kurt should be coming. I turn on the game, 1 pick. All right, that's fine, Kurt. That's fine. Second pick. Okay, Kurt. Okay. All right. Yeah, you scared me. Third pick. All right, dog. The jig is up. I'm done believing in him. I should have been listening to people. Kurt was just, I believe it was Kevin Stefanski that saved him last year. That's who saved me. That's what it was. The jig is up, Kurt. You're in the Ski Mask Hall of Fame to me because you got $83 million. You just robbed them blind. You robbed them blind. He robbed them blind.
Give me that money.
I can't believe it. I just was like, wow, you suck.
Yeah.
You really, I hate to say it but you.
He's average.
He is average at best. He was average at best.
And that's
still got Thielen. You still got Cook. You have 2 good tight ends. What are we doing? The Colts defense was down 3 starters. I mean, yeah, their D-line's decent. They still got Darius Leonard, but their back end is horrible. And they was picking you apart. The jig. The jig. All that cap.
All cap.
All that cap.
All cap.
All that cap.
Listen, man, y'all, you know how I feel. I've been saying this back in the podcast. Kirk Cousins is very, very, very average to me. And it hurts my heart because he's a Sparty. He's a former Sparty. I love the brother to death, man. Really good guy, apparently. But you know average when you see average. And he is not worth the $83 million.
You like that?
There's other people that can use that money, and he's not sharing the wealth right now.
You like that?
You're right. You like that. You like that.
He's a
I should take this purple off right now. Dag nabbit. All right, man. I'm gonna go ahead and
let me hear it.
I'm gonna say this sparingly.
It's obvious.
Carson Wentz. All right.
But they said he was an MVP 2 years ago.
And honestly, he was. But you can have an MVP season and still have a down season.
Nick Foles.
The
cap was on him.
I'm gonna be real with you. Carson Wentz, we've done seen it a couple of times.
Yes.
And the one thing that is so hurtful about this is because he has all the talent in the world.
Yeah.
He really does. But I just don't think he's grasped the concept of being a true franchise quarterback. Because he does some things to me that really just is why are you making these boneheaded decisions?
I'm listening.
At some point, I can't even keep giving him, the benefit of the doubt of, he doesn't have receivers. I can't keep doing that for too long. I can't keep doing that for too long. Like I said,
I give last year because everybody was gone.
Exactly.
That. He did
but he
really
willed
good.
them to the playoffs,
That's
though.
fact.
And guess what? You get credit when you do bring them to the playoffs. But in the same breath, you better take the daggone blame when you're not doing well.
And he ain't been playing.
Right. If you taking a bucket and a mop to the playoffs, and in that same breath, the bucket and the mop done soaked you up. All right, I'm just telling you, brother. You the one that's operating this ship right now, and if you sinking them, you need to take the credit for that because the NFC East, this is the weakest division, division in football.
It might take 6 wins to win the division.
You went to the playoffs and won the division last year with. By the way, you beat out the Cowboys, who have, on paper, a much better roster than you, which tells you everything you need to know about this daggone division. And so, for you to come out bland in these first 2 weeks, I can't give it to you, man.
It's almost handed to you in a way.
It's handed to you. And once again, you find yourself clawing yourself back into a very weak NFC East race, and I can't give it to you, Carson. Can't give it to you. You got to stop making these boneheaded decisions, man. Until then, you have definitely dropped in my stock, and you're gonna have to earn my respect again, brother. Or go to a new team or something, bro. Because you're getting paid way too much money to be this trash.
Definitely getting paid
way too much money to be this trash. So
The cap.
the cap. All cap. And lastly, good brother, we got to get into the coaching aspect of this. Because you know it has to happen, man. It has to happen. So go ahead. Who do you got for me, good brother?
Matty P. Matt Patricia.
Get him out of there. Hit the shower.
Yeah, he got the hit. He had us fooled because that Pats defense shut down that McVay offense in the Super Bowl. He had us fooled. But then he ends up leaving. Defense look a little bit better. He gets to the Lions. They say that defense looks similar. He started picking away at some of our players. They get Trey Flowers. Now he got J.B. Collins this year. Defense gonna look a little better. Give him a few years, then he start gelling. We're in year 3. I get it was Aaron Rodgers, but it don't matter because you said that defense supposed to be good.
Oh, top notch.
Cooked. Aaron Rodgers.
Sesh.
Aaron Rodgers is tearing them apart.
Sesh.
This year you have a healthy Matthew Stafford, a supposedly better line. You have DeAndre Swift. Now I get it. That Bears game was a little, but still, this is the Bears. You should have actually been a little further away because you still had Kenny Golladay out there. T.J. Hawkinson starting to look like a top 5, top 10 tight end. Marvin Jones. You have legit 3 running back AP, DeAndre Swift. You should be. You shouldn't. The game against the Bears shouldn't have been that close. What's going on? You got Matt Stafford looking like Matt Stafford was actually one of my guys. I thought he was gonna be a breakout player this year.
He should be.
He's really good.
He really should be.
But Matt Patricia and that offensive coordinator, his time management's been horrible. His decision play making, all that, it's just been horrible. His decision making is trash. And then we see it next week. Then we see it this week with the Packers. Team look unmotivated because he's trying to do that Patriots way, which
it ain't working.
People that come from the Patriots got to understand, man. It's only certain players. If you got the players that can do that, yeah, do it.
Oh yeah.
But if you only have 1 or 2 guys that are like that came from the Patriots and they get it, you can't do that because everybody on the team is different. Yet you trying to force this stern, stoic look on the sideline, trying to look like Bill, arms folded, hoodie up, like you just mean. No, dog. Your team look unmotivated. Tom Flores is doing it right. He understands how to make a middleman. Hence why the Dolphins play.
Exactly.
They don't look like they're giving up. They may not be that good, but they don't give up. The Lions look like they just gave up. They don't look like they care about what's going on, and I believe that's coming from Matt Patricia. So we'll be seeing him fired at the end of the year.
Yes.
We'll be seeing him later.
It actually might be coming faster.
It might be.
They
don't win 2 more games, and they start this thing on 0-4. We'll be seeing you later. They will be seeing you later, Matt. The jig is up.
You'll be walking outside of the locker room.
All that capping, big man. All that cap.
Hey, listen, man. You hit the nail on the head with that one, good brother. In my opinion, he should have been up out of there. But hey, you know what? You got more than one chance. Exactly. But you got your chance.
Coordinators, man.
And you blew it. You blew it up to this point.
You're tripping.
I agree. There's actually one other coach that is actually, there's 2, but I'm gonna just talk about one.
I want to know which one you're gonna choose.
I'm just gonna definitely go with Dan Quinn.
Yes,
I'm definitely gonna go with Dan Quinn.
He's
been capping ever since he lost that Super Bowl. And you know what? Quite frankly, at some point,
but once again, great defensive coordinator. They say.
It worked.
That's what they said.
It worked.
But they had Richard Sherman in that Seattle defense.
But here's the thing about that though, brother. That being a defensive coordinator and being a head coach, those are 2 completely different things.
It's true.
And I actually do give Dan Quinn a lot of credit because he is really good at calling a defensive game.
But he does now.
But this brother has lost his touch as a defensive coordinator and as a head coach.
Jig is up.
And it is all the way up.
The jig has
There is no way you're going to sit here and tell
him.
They're extending him. And guess what? This is why when you get in these high places, you take all the reward, but you definitely are subjected to being cut at any point if the organization feels that it's needed. And for Dan Quinn, you had your chance there,
yes,
brother.
Sir.
You had everybody up in arms when you went to the Super Bowl, and we were like, you know what? It was the first time they hadn't been there. Right. They top 5, Matty Ice.
Offense.
You had Julio Jones going on.
Really good offense.
Devontae Freeman. You had all these guys that went nuts your first time around. You still got most of the same pieces.
Offense is amazing.
Offense is amazing. Calvin Ridley is turning into a superstar before our very eyes.
And all we need is defense.
And all you need is defense, and you can't even give me
your specialty.
Well, how much were they up by at one point? Weren't they up by like 24 or something like that?
30-0 at the end of the half.
And here's the other part about that is that head coaches are supposed to inform their players on all aspects of the game.
Oh my God!
How in the world, in God's name,
yes, talk about it.
Does your players not know that they can get the ball within 10 yards after that ball is kicked?
That's high school.
That is high school.
That's high school.
That is high school. That is high school.
The receiving team can get the ball at 10. The kicking team can't. The receiving can get it before 10. And they circled it like it was a kumbaya fire.
It's actually, to me,
that tells you.
It's resemblant of everything that's been going on with the Falcons up until this point.
Mm-hmm.
You just can't get it together right now, Dan Quinn. It's okay. Your team has lost motivation. Clearly, it looks like you've lost motivation. It's okay to split. All right, this is not working anymore. See ya. It's okay. It's okay. We don't need to force this thing anymore. Matty Ice, I feel like he does have one more Super Bowl role in him, but not while he's under Dan Quinn.
Not under that defense.
And Julio Jones.
And I feel bad because the sad thing is they had no turnovers. Not one turn. They did not have no turnovers.
Actually, they capitalized on 5 turnovers, if I'm not mistaken.
That is true. That offense didn't turn over the ball not one time. They played a perfect game. And your defense, because he's the coordinator. Your defense just said, here, I'm going to let Dak and the boys come back when I'm up 30-9. I scored 39.
Dog, I do not understand it. I do not understand it. I really don't. And not to mention, it doesn't get any easier. You can't be letting games like that slip and thinking you're going to compete with the NFC South right now. No. I don't even listen. You're not even better than the Panthers right now, and we know the Panthers are building, and that's a shame. So, just give it up. All cap right now.
He's all
cap.
Seattle saved him.
And maybe it's best that you just go back to being a defensive coordinator, and that's okay.
With some good players. Because you can't make everybody good.
Coaching isn't it for everybody. All right. So I like that, brother. Like we said, guys, we are having some special guests come on the podcast this week.
2 guests.
And we definitely want to keep you guys engaged with what we got going on. If you agree or disagree, let us know in the comments with any of our takes just now. We are going to be coming. We are coming with a lot more heat for the podcast. So if you don't like it, stay tuned. We might end up saying something that you may agree with in the podcast, but you never know unless you tune in.
We might call the future.
We might call. We've been calling the future.
We have done that,
and we actually might even talk about something that we haven't brought up in the podcast.
This is true.
So I just want you guys to know that we appreciate the listenership.
Y'all, man.
Once again, y'all have boosted us to another level, another milestone with Inside the Locker Room, and we cannot thank you guys enough for that. If you have any suggestions, any feedback, please let us know. But other than that, we are going to continue to come with that content that y'all deserve.
Yes,
and we will make sure we do that every time we come to you guys with another episode. So, good brother Wes.
Hey, my boy.
I'm your boy Steve Mose.
That boy Wes.
And this is another episode of Inside the Locker Room.
Peace.